and welcome to Let's Talk About It. I'm your hostess, Paulette Henson, and today is October 1st, 2022. Welcome to the show, everyone. Wow. First of all, I'd like to dedicate this show to a rapper artist who passed away on Thursday, and that was Coolio. And I don't own the rights to this music, but enjoy. So with that, how is everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. We have a lot of information today on the show that I'm going to share with you. But before we get into our mix, if you're celebrating a birthday or a special event, I wish you all the best and to enjoy your special day. Also, we have, as I said, breaking news, our sports update, and we have some business tips. We're going to talk about basically not only for businesses, but keeping your information safe and how to just stay on top of that because so many people are getting scammed. So we're going to review some of those safety items that you can do to keep your information safe. So stay tuned and we'll be right back to get into our breaking stories. Okay, so we are back, guys, with our breaking stories. And again, I don't own the rights to this music. This is Coolio, who passed away on Friday. We don't have any information as to how he passed away, but we are wishing our condolences to his family. Also, in breaking stories, of course, you've heard about the Hurricane Ian that has devastated Florida. A lot of the beaches have been wiped out. It is just horrific. And so if you're able to donate to the Red Cross, I encourage you to do so. There's a concern of, people that are displaced, their homes are completely gone. Not to mention their pets, their animals, their dogs, cats, and all of those are just, so it's really terrible situation. And I read a report that it's equating up to $67 billion and rising. And so it's really something. It's terrible. It's terrible to see. What else do we have? Also, we have Mississippi. I heard a report, that Mississippi has really bad drinking water, so bad, and in certain counties that people are forced to use bottled water for everything. And so there's some controversy about Brett Favre and the misappropriation of funds for personal gain, and we'll get into that story. However, I looked up Mississippi, and they are one of the poorest states that receive the highest funding from the federal government. However, politicians and people are able to utilize those funds, for profit. So that's a problem. And also in breaking stories, did you know that it is voter registration week. Last week was voter registration weekday. So if you haven't registered to vote, please complete your forms and send them out, or go to vote.org. You can go to your county page or your state page, and they should have voter information. What other breaking stories did I have for you this week? I mean, that is a lot in a nutshell. We have continued to have just strange weather. As you can see, I am dressed as if it's summer because it is 80 degrees outside, 88, and it's October. So we're just going to roll with it and enjoy it. So stay tuned. We will be back with our sports update to talk about, what happened in sports this week. Okay, guys, so we are back with our NFL update, and we had a very disturbing injury that happened on Thursday night with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but he suffered his second concussion. Now, he just had a concussion the following week, and he went back and played. And then Thursday night, with their game against the Cincinnati Bengals, second quarter, he was hit, sacked very hard, in my opinion, unnecessarily rough. Those players should have been expelled from the game. Excuse me. He had to be carted off on a stretcher. Good news is he looks to be okay. He's been released, but it makes you wonder. I don't know about you, but it seems as though the roughness and the aggressiveness of some of the plays on some teams is really something that the NFL needs to look at, especially if a team is falling behind. And it's one thing to sack a quarterback, but you don't have to pick him up and slam him down to the ground. I understand, as we all do, that football is a very physical sport, but there is a fine line between physicality and just being aggressive and rough and trying to hurt someone. And so we're starting to see a lot of injuries related to concussions and that type of thing because of this roughness. And so I don't know about you, but I don't like that part of it. I think that the sport alone is aggressive and physical enough, just falling and running and jumping and all of that. You don't need to add any extra to it. So that's just my opinion. But so moving right along, this week we had all the teams were playing. It was a good week on Sunday. Sunday was good to watch. I watch the Red Zone maybe half of the day, and then I'll watch specific games the other half of the day. But I don't know about you. If you watch Red Zone all day, you will be exhausted at the end of the day. It's just so much action. It's great, but it's a lot of action. So I encourage you to get the Red Zone, check it out, and see how you can watch every single game and know what's happening. In other news, NFL news, Brett Favre, and he is no longer with the NFL, but he used to be quarterback with Green Bay Packers for a number of years. Well, he's been involved in a scandal as it relates to Mississippi welfare fraud. And so he is denying any knowledge of knowing that the funding he received in the sum of 77 million, that he was unaware that this money was misappropriated, and the source was federal funding to the state of Mississippi. And so that's been in the news. I'm sure you've all have heard about it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, with that story. Tomorrow, we have our new week in football. And what is going on? Let's see the schedule. I'll just go over tomorrow's matchup. Minnesota, New Orleans. That's going to be good. Cleveland, Atlanta, Washington, Dallas at Dallas. Seattle at Detroit. Tennessee at Indianapolis. Chicago at New York. And Jacksonville at Philadelphia. New York at Pittsburgh. Buffalo at Baltimore, and LA Chargers at Houston. Arizona at Carolina. New England at Green Bay. Whoa, that's going to be a good one at 1:25 p.m. on CBS. That's going to be a great game. Denver at Las Vegas, and Kansas City at Tampa Bay. That's going to be a good game as well. That's the late game at 5:20. So be sure to watch out for that. Monday night, we're going to have the LA Rams at San Francisco. Monday Night Football. It's going to be awesome. So with that, we're going to move into our Major League Baseball, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, we are back, and we are going to briefly go over our Major League Baseball standings as we get very, very close to sealing our playoffs. And where we are as it stands in the East, we have the New York Yankees at number 1. In the Central, the Cleveland Guardians. Houston Astros in the West are number 1. The New York Mets in the National League East are number 1. Central, St. Louis Cardinals are number 1. And in the West, the LA Dodgers are number 1. And so it'll be interesting to see as who's going to play who and who is going to seal the deal. So I am so excited. Congratulations to the Dodgers on just being an historical team. I've never seen pitching like what the Dodgers can perform. It's just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I've been a Dodger fan for 40 some years at least. So I'm so proud to know that my Dodgers are they're staying with it, and they are just getting it done. So with that, we're going to move on to our business section, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, we are back with our business update, and today we're just going to review some safety tips that even if you don't have a business, you should follow. And before I get into that, I don't own the rights to this music. This is Thighs High, and this is by Tom Brown. So, what I wanted to go over today is the discussion of keeping yourself safe, your information safe. And I know a lot of people are getting scammed with their phones, people sending information to you via text message, and it'll have like a website or something to click on that. And if you don't recognize who that sender is, don't click on those items. And that goes to emails as well. I know for me, I receive a lot of emails from different email accounts, and I don't know how people get my information. And so usually they'll have an attachment or something where you need to click and go somewhere else. And if it looks like funny little numbers and letters, don't click on it. Because what happens with that is it will not only take you either to no place that exists or a place that exists, but it will get information from your phone. It'll turn on things within your phone, like your location. It'll try to get your banking information, whatever it can get. So please be mindful of that. I'm seeing that more often, and now it's even filtrating into the text message platform as well. You'll get text messages from people that you don't even know. And a lot of those, like the 5-digit text number where people will say, oh, text this code to this number. Well, people, businesses can get a text, they can get the ability to use that to send out messages to thousands of people. It's not that you have to sign up to say, I don't want to receive that type of information. It's literally above that. It's a system that will just generate millions of text messages to millions of numbers. And so if you notice that you've been getting these type of messages, you can contact your subscriber, and they can give you information on how to remove that and delete it, and keep people off of your phone. Also, you want to be mindful. What I've noticed is that there'll be posts that will ask you in a sort of like a challenge way, as if you were challenging your other friends to disclose information. And I'm going to look up, I know I've received some of these posts, and what it does, it'll ask you your age, it'll ask you your favorite, what's your dog's name. These are questions that will relate to information that you will put in with your account, like, what's your dog's name, or where was the first place that you lived when you were a child, what was your best friend's name, that type of information. So if you see posts like that, don't put your information in, because if someone is scamming your page and you answer those questions that they're trying to investigate any of your accounts or any of your business, you're disclosing those secrets, those secret password type of information. You're disclosing that. So just be mindful of that. Also, with businesses, if you are an entrepreneur, small business, please do your research before you pay for services as it relates to online website marketing. Make sure you understand what you're paying for and what you're going to get. So with that, we're not going to keep you too long. It's Saturday. It's a beautiful day. Get out there, have a good time, enjoy yourself, and we'll see you next week on Let's Talk About It. Bye-bye.